Guys, did you know that over the weekend there was just a small tournament that happened around the world in every region called Bushiroad Rumble Online 2021 Premium Edition. Alright, it was actually pretty huge. It's pretty huge. Now, in terms of Japanese results, not much really went on, but we're going to cover this kind of quickly, just go through all the top 8s in every region. And, you know, last week, 2 weeks ago, I think I made some predictions on what will not top in the premium format. And we'll see how right I was. We'll see how right I was. If you want to see the video and my predictions... Ouch. I hit my hand. If you want to see that video, it is in the description, I think, or there's going to be like a pop-up. Go check it out. But yeah, let's kind of get started, right? Let's look at NA results. First one we have is Noto's Grand Blue list. Now, Grand Blue was one of the most popular lists around all the regions. And I think in NA it topped the most, actually. Topped the most. I think 3 tops is the highest for Grand Blue. So yeah, this is his list. I think there's some spicy tech here. He's gone Beatrice style. And 1 flanger, right? You don't really normally see a flanger at all, but he's incorporated one here. A lot of people now are running a few D cards. We see like Ursula here, but also we have Fancied Bell. Now this is like the tech, right? Literally the tech against Narukami, right? Binding all that stuff. You just take it out. But another plus that you can do, you can use it to get back your cutlasses. Yeah, but that's nice. You can see it's like totally teched out. Look at this. It's just all 1 copies of a lot of things, But also the crazy thing here is it's also running 4 like normal heals, right? Not healed guardians, just normal heals. I don't know, maybe he didn't get the healed guardians in time, but there is still a good reason why you'd run this, because it works with Beatrice. So it's still good. It's still good, right? Apart from that, we see something like 2 cyclones here, but yeah, it's interesting. Usually Noto plays Dark Irregulars, but he went with Grand Blue, right? So pretty interesting. Only 14G unit, so did something go wrong? 14G unit? At least he topped. Is it like 1 order? Hang on, one order? Huh, alright, pretty good. Anyway, the next list we can see here is, we can look at the Lawad list. So this is Zio's Lawad list. He was actually featured on stream. Unfortunately, he died a bit quickly against Regalia. Now, interesting thing with these Lawad was actually like, I think Shadow Paladin overall was like the 2nd most represented deck in the format. First was Grand Blue across all the regions as well. In terms of conversion, like Shadows was like not that much conversion, but it still performed okay. Like, you know, 1 or 2 made it to top 8s in each region. A lot of these decks seem to be focusing on like Belial Owls now, less stands, right? They got the Cursed Eye Ravens, but that is pretty much it. But they want the Belial Owls for advantage. We see it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan, right? If I'm playing Lawad, I want to kind of go ham with the more festive plays. I want that stand, that Dagda. I want to see at least 1 stand. If I see 2 stands, I'm in happy land, right? So I think I still like the more heavier focus on stands. And in terms of like trigger power and defensive power, it is pretty much the same, right? It is pretty much the same. But I guess, you know, Belial Owls, you can call them out, you know, get cards, draw more cards. Yeah, that's pretty nice, right? That's pretty nice. So I think that's the only, like, criticism I really have about, like, the Lawad list. But yeah, it's just fine, you know, 4-1 Lawad, you know, heavy focus on Dragheart, right? And the 1 tech of, like, Swordbreaker is pretty cool. So yeah, pretty nice list. Next we have is Mark with the, I guess they call it the WCC, Nightmare Doll list. The brainchild of this was, I think it was first Kevin, and then Kevin Cho, right? And then Derek as well. So their big brains, right, went bigger, and, you know, came up with the original idea of this, and it just kind of got honed into perfection. And we get to see just the amount of destruction this list can do. Now, I think probably Simon's game in AO was the best example of destruction, because you can actually go even hammer, but I think that one's as good as it gets, where you first stride and just kill someone from 1. Yeah, this is pretty much the list. Nightmare Dolls is pretty good, and Rollock, very, very crazy idea. I think, yeah, Kevin again, right? Team Rollock. He's the idea that came up with this tech, so big grass him. I mean, he did very well as well, and so did Derek, and it's been a good weekend, right? It's been a good weekend, you know. Stride Zone, you know, Yvette, you know, Dark Lord Princess, Yvette, sometimes a Harry. It just works, right? It just works. But yeah, you're probably going to be seeing this list quite a few times. Just saying. Next we have is Chalice's Grand Blue list. Again, this one is another Grand Blue and NA. This one is a more Night Rose focused list, which is different because I think a lot of people are focusing more on Beatrice. Again, it's got a lot of different text. It's got some D cards again, like this null, right? This null, wow. You know, seems good. And running like one copy of like old Cutlass. All right, it's Soul Blast 2 draw. Pretty good. Got Grenache as well, and got the Heal Guardians. But yeah, apart from that, also got Night Rose, the Night Rose Stride. So a bit of just, which is, I think I'm going to see a lot of differences between a lot of these Grand Blue lists, which is crazy, right? It's crazy because everyone's just like changing their list to what they want it to be, right? And here we got Solemn's the Mona Lisa of decks deck. This is his list. This is a Beatrice focus one, but it's teched out to the max. We can see the Night Rose. We can see like, you know, these D cards as well. Elenia. Wow, this is insane. I think, well, Solemn has a video on this, or he will have a video of this very soon. It is very long. I do advise that, like, to all you players out there, you probably will want to watch the whole thing, because that's how you learn, right? You could watch these videos and go, hey, that's a deck, let me copy it, and I'll try and do as well as the other Grand Blue players. But if you don't understand what each of these cards do, their purpose, because I'm going to tell you guys, these one-offs, these two-offs, there's a lot of reasons behind these. So you're going to want to watch this video, the whole thing, even though it might be long. You know, grab yourself a snack and just listen to his ideas, and that's how you learn, right? You know, knowledge is the most important part. It'll definitely make you a better player, right? It'll definitely make you, like, Solemn's videos now are like, they come out not as often anymore, but the value gained from them is going to be very good, especially for premium. So go watch that video, guys. Go watch it when it comes out, of course. When it comes out, it might already be out. I don't know. Right. Next we have, this is Sura's list. This is Steven, right? This is the Regardless. I think there are some changes he would have wanted to put in this list, but I think this is a pretty good example of Regalia just goes burr. You see his top 4 game on stream. If it comes out, it is the shortest game of your life, but literally just shows you what Regalia can do and how scary it is. You know, the Yggdrasil and Norn, absolute destruction. The way how you can't play around, you know, like you can't grade 2 a game against this thing because it's just going to destroy you anyway. So there is literally, this is like kind of like the nice good old Smackdown deck that you can just play, and something you have to deal with, right? It basically has uninteractable fields as well. So everything about it is pretty good. Of course, I think, you know, maybe he would want to change some of his heals, or maybe add another Marduk. But we'll see. We'll see. He ended up 2nd place, losing to Mark in the finals, but it was still a great finals. So yeah, it's pretty good. Next we have is Kaliko Think Tank. This was done by King Udon. I think it made top 8. I think this is the only OTT list we saw across all the regions, and it's just featuring kind of, you know, the good old OTT Mega stuff with the Kaliko, you know, one-shot power-up. So you basically like one-shot with Momo, or put it on each Kishma, and then you just like destroy your opponent. So this is a very nice list, very nice, kind of a very simple list. I think a lot of people have been talking about this for a while now, and this is one of the ones that just came up and was able to win. So pretty good job, and just getting into top 8 with OTT, the only one. And lastly, we have Royal Lover, also made it to top, I think it's top 4 actually, with ban overtrees. With a Beatrice focus list. Again, we're seeing some of these techs that I've mentioned before, you know, the new D techs, Anti-Narukami. Big-kun as well showing up. Big-kun is actually very, very important in this format. Very good, because it's just a lot of Vanguards restand in this format. Or just re-ride, or do basically a lot of double Vanguard attacks. So Big-kun's value is definitely there, and it's interesting to see he brought it in as well. So I definitely think it's a good call. But again, we see like 2 Night Rose and all that. So yeah, pretty good Grand Blue list. So a lot of Grand Blues showed up. It's crazy. Let's look at AO. Let's look at the AO region. We got Tori-san here. This is Kevin Cho's deck, right? He's done a great job as well. Look at this. Look at it's nearly I think it's nearing perfection. This is nearing perfection. You made it to top 8, so great job. I think like people say, right, you know, it's all about winning. No, it's not just all about winning, guys. Top 8ing is pretty hard, right? It's actually pretty hard. Anyone who tells you that winning is easy or top 8ing is easy, don't believe them. Don't believe. This is coming from an old man, right? Coming from a washed up bloke, but also someone from WCC as well, right? Winning, topping, all that is hard. Topping consistently as well is very, very hard too. And I think you can just see that if you look at Kevin's achievements, man, he is so consistent. It's insane. So just an absolutely great job, right? Great job. The list, of course, very, very good, very optimized. So yeah, this is how you win, boys. Next we have is Singapore's best. This is Miss Grade King, right? Miss Grade King. He was in the finals. He came second, right? Unfortunately, he died very quickly. But we see there is some additions. He ran Fodler, right? Grade 2 Fodler to grab Bilal Owls to get his kind of draw engine going. That was a kind of interesting touch. So if you are looking for Fodlers, good luck. Good luck if you want to try this Fodler Bilal engine, right? Well, good luck, right? I remember it was a kind of a difficult to bit PR, so you might need to check the drawers, right? Check the drawers. So yeah, another Lawad, but yeah, good stuff. Another Lawad, right? Next we got this wonderful Nightmare deck. This is from Guitar. This list was different. This definitely wasn't a WCC list. Much more honest list, right? Much more honest Nightmare Doll list. Literally everything is Nightmare Dolls, right? And with some purple trapezist. No Rolocks or anything like that. None of that meta stuff. Even the starter here, as you can see, is a Nightmare Doll, right? Alright, Nightmare Doll Natalie. It's actually a Nightmare Doll. So, you know, it's so honest. It's even running stand triggers, right? Did a good job. Top 8 as well. Three Beatrix? Wow. Insane. It's a 4 Yvette. Wow, okay, alright. Yeah, this is another list that you can try, right? If you guys want to be pure Nightmare Doll, then sure. And next we have is ShirtySP. So this guy, Mr. Shirty, why did you top with Aquaforce? I have to say, I predicted Aquaforce will not top, right? I predicted Aquaforce will not top, and you had to top with it. So you ruined my predictions. But it's good. It's good. I can kind of cheat a bit, right? I can say I had no choice in saying what would not top, because I was never gonna say Grand Blue won't top or Bermuda won't top, right? Because they have very, very strong decks. So I had to choose Aquaforce because I had to choose one, at least one for each nation. But it's still good seeing an Aquaforce top, right? Through the challenge out there. I don't know if he watches my videos though, but you know, topping with Aquaforce kind of shows that Megalonica is still pretty good, right? All 3 clans kind of worth it, right? Still can perform, especially with no Pursuit Assault, right? This is English format, no Pursuit Assault. So I have to say, good job, Shirty. You did well. Made it to top 8. Unfortunately, I had to play Simon. We saw that on stream though. He guarded like crazy, right? He was able to guard insane and still draw because of Genbolt. So you can at least see kind of the aggressive and draw power of Aquaforce, which is pretty insane, right? Pretty insane. When you think of Aquaforce, it's just like multi-attack, early game push, blah blah blah. But we got to see like a long game from Aquaforce, which is not something you get to see very, very often. So this is pretty nice. It's a pretty good list. And it's just got a bit of everything, right? It's got a bit of everything. So pretty good. I like it. Good job. Next we have is KittenPants. What Vanquisher? I think this is like the only Vanquisher player that tops. I kind of expected more, to be honest, but he was running a kind of very unique Vanquisher list. 11 crit Vanquisher, right? He just didn't care, right? KittenPants just didn't care. Let's just go in, let's go ham. The interesting part about this deck is, you know, when you think of slowing aggression, you want to damage deny your opponent, but this is also one of those decks that actually just don't care about being damage denied. And he actually played very well, you know, certain games. He knew how to just take it home. He knew what he had to do, threw down those triggers, went for the game, and that's how he won. So I think well deserved top with 11 crit Vanquisher, man. I kind of expected like less crits, you know. You kind of want pieces to be aggressive. You want some draws, but crits whack, right? Crits whack. So why not? Why not? And I guess you get to run the nice screen. Also running the 4 Anastasia OG no. Lets you draw. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. And then Sunverse. Right? It's all about the Sunverse, yeah. So good job, Kitten. Next we got the Highlanders. Okay, this is Kalen's Highlander list. There were 2 Highlanders at top. Kalen's one was slightly teched with a bit more of the crate elemental things to kind of for the metagame. And the annoying thing is I kind of want to build this deck for fun because it's slow and boring, slow and lame kind of deck, but I can't afford an Ezka's because they're like $100. So if, I don't know if Bushiroad can like reprint an Ezka's or like just the Highlander grade 4s. Yeah, that'd be great, man. That'd be great. But yeah, the Highlander just abuse Cotier. You know, you run 2 of them, you run 2 aquas because you can surge and bounce and do all the shenanigans. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So this one was kind of different compared to like the next one we're gonna see, which is Gabriel Tier's one. I'm not sure on his idea on this Highlander list, but I feel like he just ran everything that was way more high rarity because he could, right? Because he could. Because you see there's so many cards I actually just don't recognize here because it is high rarity. And it's like a vastly different list, I think, compared to Kalen's. But the theory is still there, right? He's got 2 of the Cotiers, 2 of the Aquas, and yeah, that is how it crumbles. The key cards are always at 2. You didn't run any of like you didn't run the how do you call it, the I forgot the name now. It's the grade 0, right? I said it before. How could I forget? Bikun. That's right, Bikun. You didn't run any of the Bikun, which I think would have been a nice addition. But he's running like one Bobo, which is interesting. He's still got the Honolese, and also running like Shizuku, right? Shizuku, which is crazy. All right, and then I think look at this. Like the only thing that really bounced out to me was like 1 Tira was kind of a bit weird. But then I look at these like 2 like high rarity Olivias, so I kind of get it. Right? I kind of get it. But yeah, this is a pretty flex list, guys. This is a pretty flex list. So yeah, good job, man. And then lastly, we got Simon's list here. And this is the winning E1 AO with this list. Actually, I think there are some slight differences with this list compared to the other list that we saw before. And I think the main difference is, I mean, like the Chelsea number is slightly different. But also his G-Zone is slightly different too. Only 1 Yvette and 1 Beatrix as well. But apart from that, like apart from these small differences, the rest of it has just been pretty similar too. So yeah, I think that's a good job. Congrats, Simon, for coming first, right? Taking it home. So yeah, premium champion stays premium champion, right? And then lastly, we've got Europe, right? Europe, I'm always kind of scared about Europe because they bring a lot of random stuff, and I was really hoping that they didn't bring like a Gear Chronicle on top. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, Gear Chronicle fans. I had to predict that you guys won't top, but the amount of Gear Chronicles I saw in that tournament, actually insane, right? Actually insane. But first we got Benjamin C from Singapore, actually. He came in with a Nova Grapplers list, and I was happy I said Link Jokers wouldn't top. I guessed correctly. It was between what, like Nova Grapplers, Dimension Police, and Link Joker, right? And I was about to, I could have said anything. I could have said Nova Grapplers, I could have said Dimension Police, but I was just like, okay, there's gonna be a crazy lad, likely from in the Asian region, that will take these somewhere. And I guess they took it to Europe, and I mean, they topped with the Novas here, and we can see. I'm not sure if this is a very honest list or not. It's just Victor, right? It's just Victor. Victor does its thing, does the multi attacks, and boom, that's how you go, right? Nothing crazy like those insane like shout busted lists. It doesn't seem like, or you know, Gize with OT, like try to trigger OT or something. So yeah, I think this is a much more honest list, though you can still go busted and try and trigger an OT and win. So yeah, it seems okay. It seems okay, but at least, you know, I wasn't wrong. And there's variety, right? There's diversity. If you Nova fans out there, right? Here you go. You can Nova it up, right? Pretty good. Next we got the Daniel's Justice Laurel list. I think you guys probably would have seen this around, right? I think this is very similar to different fights lists, and I mean he beat me, all right? He beat me, guys, in Swiss. So I took the L. He dropped down double die arm and triggered OT like a god, right? You know, doubled his power. Hit like 200k. So Pretty hard to guard, but he got top 8, so that's a good job, mate. Good job. You at least, you did me proud, all right? If you beat me, you got to take it home, all right? So good job. Good job. So Dementia Police, I personally said that it had a chance of topping, and it did, so I wasn't wrong. Good job, Daniel. Good job. Next, we have Kelvin's list. Now, Kelvin's list was also Night Row centric instead of Beatrice centric. And I mean, you guys saw this on stream. This is actually pretty crazy. If you want to see how to beat an overtrigger, just watch that game. Feels bad for Derek, but it is what it is, mate. It is what it is. Again, it's teched out to the max. Literally 1 and 2s of everything, except for these like Rolocks, right? The Rolocks there are at 3s, but yeah, just a lot of techs. And Cody the MVP, Cody the Ghosty, big MVP. But his stride zone is also a bit. I'm not here to say how good it is, but it looks also kind of toolboxy too, right? No Night Rows though. No Night Rows in the G zone. Yeah, I think it's pretty good, right? Basically anti-Narukami techs. Yeah, good times. Next we got is Dave, right? Dave ran Lawad, but he was running V Lawad, which was actually a surprise. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of V Lawad, right? I'm not a huge fan of V Lawad because I like playing the traditional build of Lawad better. But I can see the advantages of a V Lawad. Normally you get stopped by opponents like grade 2 gaming you and all that stuff when you're playing Lawad. But if you play V Lawad, you don't care about the grade 2 game. You ride up, you bash your opponent, and sometimes your bash is so hard, they're just dead, right? They're just dead. So a totally different idea on Lawad, much more focused towards the early game, right? So that's, I mean, it works. If it works, it works, right? And I think it did really well for Dave because he made it to top 4, but unfortunately, he faced Narukami, right? He faced Narukami, and I feel like this build of Lawad definitely has less advantages compared to like the traditional one against a Narukami deck, which is all focused on defense, because the late game, the older G Lawad builds can deal with Narukami a lot better. But look, just dodge Narukami, right? Just don't face Narukami, especially Eradicators. Yeah, just dodge it, right? So yeah, congrats on the top 4. Actually, came 3rd, right? It came 3rd. I got Sram's NLK deck. This is the only NLK deck or DI deck that made it in any region, right? NLK Barrow Magnus is the kind of the new cool at the moment, and you know, just it's the old idea of just soul charge, and you know, do your NLK combos and hope for the best, right? Hope for the best. So as you guys can see, NLK is not dead, right? It's not dead. It's pretty much alive. DI is not dead. Just because they don't have Castile doesn't mean they're gone, right? Doesn't mean they're gone. So looks like good job, good work, right? Good work. And then we got Derek's Palmillas. I mean, I think we've seen this quite a few times. The problem here is that he was missing a high-rarity Carol, so that is quite unfortunate. He made his top 8, was about to win, but then he lost, right? So, I mean, it only happens in anime. I guess if you like anime, pray the VODs come out, but yeah, I don't think I need to talk much about this list at all, but the game, you guys gotta watch it. You guys gotta watch it. I have to say, you guys gotta watch it, guys. So, yeah, cool. This is Karan's list. Lawad is cool. He is the winner, right? And he played traditional G Lawad. Out of all the Lawad lists I saw over the weekend, I think I like this one the best because I like old Lawad. I like old G Lawad. I think it's the better build out of all of them. But also he's running 1 stand more than a lot of players, so that automatically makes me happy, right? An extra stand is good. He's still also running Bilal Owsler, right? 1-2 split, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, because he ran 5 stands instead of 4, that's how he won, guys. I think that's all we need to say. All right, 5 stands is better than 4. The rest of the G-Zone, we see Morfessa, it's there. We see Dragobis, his G-Zone set, right? Good job, Karan. You got your... Do you even run Brand? He has 4 Brandwins in his deck. Now you can replace them with PR Brandwins, right? You can replace them with PR Brandwins. So his deck now has become blingier than bling, right? So good job, Karan. And then lastly, we've got Ilja here playing Happy Hello World's best. Is it Happy Hello World? Yeah, best girls, right? And he was running Eradicators. and he ran the Unruly Dragon combo, which is pretty cool, right? It's actually pretty cool. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Eradicators was one of my picks I was thinking of taking to EU, and I mean, I even have the deck here. Can you guys see it? You have the deck here, and guess what it had? It had Unruly Dragon, guys. It's gonna have like really bad focus, but yeah, there it is, right? Unruly Dragon. But in the end, I didn't take it. I took Tachis. But yeah, if you guys want your Unruly Dragons, you might want to get them now because it's a PR and it's an old PR, and I think it's one of those PRs where the picture doesn't load properly because it's old. So yeah, guys, if you want an Eradicator deck, you might want to start looking for these. This was a very defensive Eradicator build, though. If we think of Narukami, it's much more aggressive. But Ilja here came second with it. He played very defensive because you've got Unruly Dragon. You've also got Koen Shack, which kind of lets you do a bit more control. And then you've got Stunverse to kind of just slow down the game and control just grind out your opponent before going in for the kill. And if you watch like the game between him and Dave's Lawad deck in top 4, you can kind of see him get pretty much like hit to high damage very early, but then start controlling the game like very, very slowly over the course of many turns until it got him the win. So very interesting build of Eradicators. I think a lot of people, when they entered this tournament, they were thinking of Vanquisher was the Narukami tech, but this, like, Ilja brought the Eradicators version and also went to the extra length of playing a defensive Eradicator list in a format where maybe you don't want to play defensive, right? Because especially on like BRO online, like remote fight, you don't want the games to go too long because then you run into the risk of hitting time. And hitting time is bad, right? That's why playing Highlanders, you got to play fast. But he wasn't afraid, right? He wasn't afraid. He stuck to his game plan, right? The man has a plan, stuck to it, and that's how he did so well. But yeah, unfortunately lost to Karan. But I have to say, I do like this list. I do like this list. I also like the other Narukami list, the KittenPants' Vanquisher list. So I think if you guys are looking for templates for like good Narukami lists, we're definitely seeing some right here, right here. So good job, Ilja, good job, right? I can respect anyone who plays defensively, right? Because I am a very lame and defensive player, and people who can play defensively, good job, right? I have to give them the double thumbs up, right? The double thumbs up, right? So that is 24 decks, right? Top 8s for every single region. Just a quick rundown, right? My predictions, unfortunately, I was 5 out of 6, right? The 6 nation, 5 out of 6. Of course, like the other nations, kind of easier to say what we're top. So yeah, right. So yeah, I only lost on Aquaforce. We will be releasing like a discussion video with WCC members as well, and all VG top decks this week. We will be looking at a lot more BRO decks, right? We will be looking at like the tweets, right? So we might even feature some of these decks again. Because they'll have tournament reports, and we read those tournament reports, right? We read like the comments, their ideas. This one is just kind of just me going through all of these cards and going, hey, this is what the top 8s are, in case you miss out. So yeah, that is it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What is your favorite deck, right? What's your favorite deck out of all of these? Post them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video, which might be kind of soon. All right, bye.